does a move like this sit in the locker room, just from the player perspective? We've already seen that Le'Veon Bell's come out with his own tweets, but for the players who have been on this Jets team.
It sucks for players. I mean, listen, this is my big issue with it. This is how young players and mainly young quarterbacks get ruined. When organizations have no clue what they're doing, there's no structure, there's no vision, there's no plan, and they just try to figure out things, you know, kind of by the seat of their pants. This is completely unfair to your young quarterback, and this is how guys get ruined. And don't talk to me about general managers don't affect how a young quarterback gets developed. Who picks the players that helps the young quarterback develop? A general manager. What happens when general managers get brought into town? They gut the team. So now you have a head coach who does not warrant general manager responsibilities going to help pick a general manager that's going to come in and gut a team for a young quarterback. This is completely unfair. And don't sit there and say like, oh, they would never make this move unless they had something set up. A lot of people in relationships think it's going to be a good relationship till they move in together. And then they go, wait, who are you? I'm not ready to get married to you. So the Jets can have a plan of a guy that they want, and they might like him until you have to work together and figure things out together. So as players, you're sitting there going, what are we doing? If I'm Sam Darnold, I've been in the NFL for 13 months, and I want to go back to college because it seems that there's a little bit more of structure there than we have in New York.
Can I just get something off my chest?
I just got it off mine.
This is a lovely and delightful conversation, but can I say one thing? When I first saw this news yesterday, my immediate inclination was to sit in the back seat of a car where it was pitch black dark and just yell, damn it, at my phone, because that seems to be the way I find that the people in our industry deal with things that upset them. And then I sat back and I thought about it. This can't ruin my day. Do you know what I've lived through as a fan of this franchise? I mean, going back with me all the way to when Richard Todd threw those interceptions to A.J. Dewey and then spent the rest of the week with him, to the time they drafted Johnny Lamb Jones, who every single time the ball was thrown at his feet, he jumped, to the time that Mark Gastineau roughed the quarterback on a 4th down in a playoff game they would eventually lose to Cleveland in double overtime, and my father threw a pillow out a 25th floor window, and I believe the statute of limitations on that has passed, so I can acknowledge it now. I've seen the worst things that can possibly happen. This isn't even close to that. But here's the one thing that bothers me about this. The owner of the team, Christopher Johnson, said he had to do a deep dive into what's been going on around here the last few months and figure out they needed to replace the general manager on May 15th. Christopher Johnson's been running the franchise since Woody Johnson, his brother, was sent to the United Kingdom to be the ambassador. Was that 2 weeks ago? No, that was 2 years ago. I don't know what he's been so busy doing that he had to figure this out now. Here's the problem that I have with all of this. It doesn't make any sense. The Jets had just reclaimed the mantle of being the team in New York that had some idea what they were doing. Look at the Mets, look at the Knicks, look at the Giants, for crying out loud, who had become the Jets. I haven't even seen the Giants' new quarterback on the front page of a newspaper, and they went through their entire OTAs because the only thing there is the eyes of Adam Gase, who 5 days ago told the New York media, oh, well, I'm mad that you're telling me that Maccagnan I don't like. Don't move away from me. I'm coming. I'm still talking about this.
Yes!
That Mike Maccagnan and I get along very well, and then 5 days later, they wind up firing Maccagnan. So here's the bottom line. Just don't do that. That was what really bothered me a lot. And so I understand that it might have made sense to move him out of there. Maccagnan did a terrible job as the general manager of the Jets. Absolutely terrible, and they should have fired him several months ago. But to let him spend $125 million on players, including Le'Veon Bell, who the coach obviously didn't want, doesn't make any sense, didn't make any sense, and isn't getting better no matter how they try to explain it.
I think I'm going to take
he
this
needs a hug.
Because you need a rest.
I'm all right.
We're going to carry on here and let
Greeny
Greeny collect himself.